Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about divisional charts and exactly why divisional charts are important. And so for people who are following the Western side of astrology and you're viewing this video, let me just tell you, in Vedic astrology, there are something called divisional charts. Divisional charts are pretty much a detailed analysis of a particular situation in your life. So like if you want to know, like in your astrology, there's 12 houses relating to your 12 situations in life, like yourself, your personality, your family, your siblings, your home life, your kids, your co-workers, diseases, marriage, loan, education, career, spiritual life and social circle, all these things. The birth chart, whether it's Vedic astrology or Western astrology, the birth chart gives a basic analysis of your passage in this life, what your destination is, how you will reach that destination. But what divisional chart does, and that's the beauty of Vedic astrology, is that it tells you exactly, pinpoints all the details about that particular situation in your life. So let's say in Vedic astrology, if you want to know detail about your married life, you don't just look at the seventh house and other things in the main birth chart. You also look at the divisional chart, which is called as Nimansha chart. It is known as the D9 chart, D-9 chart, and you can Google that. And the Nimansha chart pretty much shows the detail of how your married life will be. Will you have luck after marriage? Will you have a good wife? Will you have a good husband? Will you have a good relationship with them? Will they bring a lot of wealth in your life? Will they bring any kind of misery in your life? Will they shorten your lifespan if you marry them? Because that happens. So like if somebody gets married and within 3 months either the spouse dies or the person who married them dies, that is due to the fact that something wasn't right in the divisional chart. So this is why it's important to not just judge your 7th house or 2nd house or 11th house and 4th house for your marriage. It's important to look at the divisional chart, because what divisional chart is pretty much you're cutting open that house of marriage, 7th house and the 9th house, and you're looking at it inside. So D9 chart is the ninth, it's the opening up of the 9th house. But they say this as a marriage aspect of your life. Even though 7th house is your married house, the D9 chart is cutting open your 9th house. 9th house is fortune. Okay, 9th house is your luck in life. 9th house is your everything that has been blessed to you in this life. And marriage is a very important part. Your spouse is a very important part of that blessing, very important part of that fortune. Because usually, your real fortune comes in when you get married, and that energy of the wife or husband starts developing your life. So this is why it's not the 7th house being opened, but it's the 9th house being opened. However, that 9th house is linked to the 7th house. So when you open it up and you cut it open, you can see inside exactly how my marriage will be, how my wife or husband look like, how their face structures will be, how their what will they be doing in their life. Okay, so this is an important aspect to look at in divisional charts. Okay, and another example is, so let's say if you have a Saturn in your birth chart really badly placed, it's in the 1st house in the sign of Aries. Okay, but in your Nimansha chart, the D9 chart, it's excelled in the 3rd house or 11th house in sign of Libra. So what is that doing? It's saying right now, before marriage, your Saturn is really bad. It's going to give you a lot of hard time, bad luck. But once you get married, as soon as you get married, it's going to start giving you neutral or good result. Why neutral results, not the best results? Because it's taking the original Saturn and the Saturn in your Nimansha chart, it's combining them together, and when it combines them together, there's a hybrid Saturn, which becomes neutral, because you have the good, you have the bad, you have the bad, you have the good, and you match them together. What becomes is kind of that gray neutral area. Now, if your Saturn was good in the birth chart and the Nimansha chart, then yeah, it's becoming regal, So this is why it's important to look at and judge the planets based upon Nimansha chart. So if you take, let's say, your Venus, if your Venus is badly placed in the birth chart, okay, so what it's doing, it's bringing all the negative aspects of female relations in your life. You will only run into women, since Venus represents women and other females besides your siblings and your mother, Venus is those outside women. So if your Venus is badly placed, you will always run into women who have, family problems. They always leave men and all that. So, and let's say Venus is in the sign of Scorpio. Okay, what Venus does in the sign of Scorpio, it brings you women who have bad relations with their mother, who have very restricted relationship with their mother, and they always want somebody to show them nourishment, to show them love, and that's why that energy attracts them to you, because Venus in Scorpio is giving them that energy that they need. But it never lasts. It hardly lasts because of the fact they get bored of that nourishment. They want more nourishment. So if you have a badly placed Venus in your birth chart, however, in a Mancha chart, it's excelled or it's in own house like a Mula Karka, it's on a sign of Libra or Taurus and in a good house, what it's doing after marriage, okay, or after the age of 35 and 36, it's going to start giving that neutral result. So when you do get married, or when that person comes in, when they're destined to come in your life and you get married, you will have a normal, okay relationship with that spouse, and your relationship with other female, your business and counterparts, acquaintances, those relationship will improve, and you will start getting neutral women in your life who will not be bad, but they won't be so good. They'll just be, hey, hi, hello, okay, that's it. So this is why it's important to look at the D9 chart. And this is why they say that Nimancha chart is the second part of your life. Why? Because when you get married, that's like beginning of your new life, beginning of second part of your life, second chapter of your life. Okay, so this is why Nimancha chart is important to look. And Nimancha chart is not for your wealth or your luck. It's wealth and luck through your wife or husband right after you get married. Because maybe through your husband, you might get some business loan that you guys will start a restaurant and suddenly that takes off. So things like that happens. Okay, same thing with your career. Like I said, the D10 chart. You got to judge your 10th house. You got to surgically open it, look inside in your D10 chart, the Dashamsa chart. Then there's something called Narayani Bhavchalit chart. Now this is not a divisional chart. A Narayani Bhavchalit chart in Vedic astrology. So when you get your Vedic astrology report and you see a Narayani Bhavchalit chart or a Chalit chart, it's pretty much taking the original position of your planets from your birth chart and rearranging them in this chart. Because they're showing like, even though your moon might be in the 10th house in Aries, okay, but in the Narayani Bhavchalit chart, it's in the 11th house in Taurus. So what it's saying, because of its degree, because of the way it was positioned when you were born, your moon is not really giving the effect of the 10th house, but when the moon dasha comes in, when the moon period comes in your life, it's going to give effect of the 11th house. But it'll still be sitting in the sign of Aries. So even though your birth chart says moon in Aries in the 10th house, in Narayani Bhavchalit chart, it says moon is still in Aries, but in the 11th house, so you will get effect of that house. So that's how you judge these things, So this is what divisional charts are. This is how you analyze them, There's a lot more details too about the divisional charts, but I'm just giving you a basic analysis of them. So hopefully this helped. Check out my link below to get enlightened on what actual astrology is and how you can find yourself through astrology. And definitely subscribe above, so I'll be making a lot more videos for you guys this year. Thank you.